What's up, fantasy people? Thank you so much for tuning into the Fantasy Football Show. Today's episode, Jason and I are going to be drinking and ranking the top 10 tight ends going into next season. I will be sharing these rankings with you right now. So here are our rankings. Mine are color-coded for tiers. Jason's are right next to that. And then I averaged the two for the show's rankings. That is the order that we're going to be doing today. So take a screenshot, sit back, and enjoy the show. Hey, what's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolt, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Football Show. Today's episode, Jason and I are going to be going over the top 10 tight ends. After, number 10, Jason, the difference in points is probably like, 1/100th or 1/10 of a point, like average per game, dude. I mean, if you have tight end number 10 and you have tight end number 15, I don't even know if it makes a difference in your season.
Yeah,
but anyways, I'm coming from Jason. I drafted Cole Kmet last season, and I think I dropped him after like week 4, and he had like 0 points.
Mm-hmm.
So like coming from, I had no quarterbacks last year. I felt like, and I had no tight ends. So tight end, dude, is like a really big position to fill on your fantasy team. There's like, if you get like a top 3 tight end, it is a huge positional advantage. We're going to be going over all those today. And before we get into all of that, Jason, this is Beer Time Breakdown. I'm cracking a beer open right now. But before we get into all that, Jason, would you want to tell the public how they can help this show?
Yeah, if you guys made it this far, if you guys hit the subscribe, press the like. We like the likes. If you can leave a comment about if you agree or disagree, or if there's certain players you have ahead of the other on this list, let us know. If you guys want some radio material, we're on Spotify at the Fantasy Football Show.
All right, Jason. So, I mean, the AC is set to like 69 right here. We're burning the money, dude. Just like, oh my God, dude. But hey, that's what we have to do around here.
My thermostat right now is saying 81 degrees.
Dude, that's what cut my hair the other day. She wasn't coming home from work. And so I was like, I'll let it go to 81. By 9:30 that night, I cut my own hair. Like Pedro, dude. I was like laying in a cold bath with candles around me, dude.
I sit there staring at my parents who have covers on, and I'm like, you guys are not from this planet.
That's so funny.
You are not my parents.
Dude, old people love the heat. I don't know what it is. Anyways, Jason, moving forward,
okay.
I was talking about how cold it is, but right now, dude, I smell the smoke and I feel the heat. It's time for that barbecue question of the week.
All right. This is the barbecue question of the week, where we answer the questions that you want to know. And this week's question is, what tight end are you keeping tabs on, Tyler?
So I've been doing, I was doing a bunch of research on this. I chase targets, dude. I've chased targets pretty much ever since, like, I don't know, my third year in fantasy football or something like that. And, dude, Tyler Higbee, Jason, was 4th overall in targets last season with 108. That's a lot of targets, man.
I know.
So, like, and if you remember, like, dude, when people were healthy, he was killing it. He was like the surprise tight end of last season. I think he was like a waiver wire pickup like in the first week or two, and he delivered, man. Like delivered just like the facts on the holidays of the Bear. Go watch that show. Anyways, dude, if I have him ranked, I think I have him ranked. Let me look at my rankings real fast. Pretty low, dude. Number 14 over. Oh, that's Everett. I have him behind Everett, dude. Number 15 overall. It's just because I need to see like Matthew Stafford throw a ball. I need to see what this offensive line is going to look like. It was so bad last year. The only thing I want to believe in is Cooper Kupp and Stafford. It's going to take a little bit more for me to believe in a secondary receiver in this team, which is crazy to say, because Stafford took me to a championship almost like, 2 years ago or something like that. Not a championship, but I didn't win the championship, but I still saw it. I was there. I was there.
You're like Russell Wilson and just experiencing it on the championship.
I was just I look down like Russell Wilson and all the other champions. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, Jason. Yeah, so Tyler Higbee, dude, he could be a top 5 tight end, literally, and he's going as like number 15, 16. Let me see what ESPN has him going. Dude, Higbee's tight. He's number 12, and his ADP is 127. So that's probably like, I don't know, 11th or 10th round in a 12-man league. So yeah, still late tight end, dude. I would love Higbee. Roll the dice on Higbee if you're gonna wait till the very end.
Uh, Tyler Higbee was on my panic players last year, and guess where he's going to be again this year?
Oh, dude, was he really on your panic?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I wonder what made you. I think that he like got traded over to the Rams and kind of got did
Tyler
well
Higbee.
in the very beginning, like at the end of the year before last. So what made you put him on your panic players list?
Because that dude gets receptions. My whole thing was like, I bet if you go look for the amount of targets and receptions he got, it like the yards aren't there. You
Oh, I
know
know. But
that,
dude, with
and
tight
that's the
end too,
thing. Yeah, that's the reason why he's so low. But it's just like there's still a lot of opportunity for that guy, right? So especially in a PPR league.
so quick news and notes, Jason. I do want to address Jalen Ramsey's going to be out for till December. They just did a successful surgery on his full meniscus repair. Today he did it. He was covering Tyreek Hill, and just like everybody else at Tyreek Hill, he doesn't break ankles. He breaks meniscuses.
Yeah, ligaments.
This guy. And then also, dude, I thought a huge injury happened today that is going under the radar. Trey Turner,
R.I.P.
TRAI. Did you see that?
Yeah, his
Dude,
quads.
tore his quad. That's such a serious injury. I tore my quad playing softball. I turned white and just sweat and shook for like 2 hours. It was crazy. But anyways, Jason, that was
Closer guys.
terrible. And then Joe Burrow was a calf strain, and he's supposed to be back by week 1, so no issue. This is going to be his like third. He had like appendicitis, COVID. He has not really had full camps. That's something to point out, and he has actually done well. Like I think he threw like 4 interceptions his first game after no camp last year, something like that.
Against the Steelers.
There you go, Jason. But he comes back and he will perform well. So dodge a bullet there. Is that it, Jason? Is that all the injuries that like? Oh, Garrett Wilson tweaked his ankle, tweaked his ankle. He's supposed to be okay. So that was almost a blow to the hype train right there.
Yeah, not so much on injuries, but I guess Javonte Williams is cleared for contact.
We saw that. Now he's waiting for the coaches to.
Yeah,
But I'm still putting P Ryan. P Ryan is on my upcoming top quarterback running back stacks. I still believe in P Ryan. And then Jason, getting right into this, we got Pat Freiermuth, number 10 on our list. You and I both have him ranked 10. ESPN has him ranked 8. Let's see. What do I have about him? 1 second. I should have this queued up, but I don't because I'm unprofessional. But hey, dude, once we start getting paid, maybe I'll be professional. Only 2 touchdowns last year following his 7-touchdown rookie season. He was number 5 in tight end targets with 98. That was tied with Engram. And he has a number 7 strength of schedule for tight ends, so he has an easier schedule. I picked him up off of waivers. I can't remember if it was his rookie year or if it was I think it was last year. And Kenny Pickett, once Kenny Pickett started, dude, he was getting targeted quite often, and then that kind of fell off. So like, I'm not super high on Muth. I'm almost like, dude, if I'm going to wait, I'd rather get Higbee later or something like that. But I do understand why he's ranked 10. Tight ends are tough, dude. It's like even a top 10 tight end is not exciting.
Yeah, he was 5th in receiving for tight ends. That did go up. He did have surprising rookie year with 7 touchdowns. But in 2022, this is the crazy thing, is that he had more receptions, he had more targets, and he had more receiving yards. He went from 497 to 732 yards. But the thing is, in last year and the year before that, he averaged 9 points a game and half-point PPR, and actually full-point PPR. In both those seasons, the one thing that makes a huge difference is what you said, Tyler, is that he had 7 touchdowns his first year, and he only had 2 touchdowns this last year. But the Steelers, they struggle on offense. They were 26 in scoring, averaging under 19 points a game. So I think with expectations of the Steelers offense improving this year, that I put them at my top 10.
Yeah, and it's you'd think that, I mean, he was still highly targeted and ran a lot of routes, so it's not like, I know their offensive line was bad and now they improved their offensive line greatly, so I don't know if he's gonna be running more routes.
He was out there 68% of the snaps in 2022. There you go,
dude. I mean, that's still pretty high. So, but Jason, I do want to say that there is a 2nd-year wide receiver bump, and I do know that there is a 3rd-year tight end bump, and this is the 3rd year for Freiermuth. I thought it was the next Gronk when I think I picked him up his rookie year when he caught that many
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns. Jason, next up,
They just need to score more. That's all it is.
Oh,
Sorry.
correct.
Steelers need to score more.
And Jason, we've been waiting for this next guy to break out for years. David.
Oh, you have him at 9, huh?
Well, okay, so we have a 3-way tie at 8. So that's why I just stuck with my rankings, because you have him at 7, I have him at 9, but that averages 8. The next guy we both have at 8, and then we have 7 and 9 again. So it's kind of weird. So
I thought you were going to be higher on this guy.
Dude, you'd think I would, but then man, if you look at his stats from last year, it is so bad. And it's just I have a hard time putting a guy that doesn't get targeted, doesn't get touchdowns, really not much. And it's just you look at his athletic profile and it's dude, he looks like he should be able to catch a lot of touchdowns. He really did well 1 year with Baker Mayfield's good year, and we've been waiting for him to break out since. He's been in the league forever, but he's only 27. But Jason, I think that his productivity is going to correlate directly to Deshaun Watson. And I can't remember who the tight end for Deshaun Watson was. I was supposed to find this out, but
I'm going to let you know.
Okay, I was I remember. I thought there was a good tight end for the Houston Texans for a while with Deshaun Watson. But dude, Deshaun Watson did so bad last year. I just have to throw last year out. Njoku might be a steal, okay, but I just cannot put him above the people that I have above him, because it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just whatever, dude. You can't put him above Kyle Pitts and all this other stuff. But, dude, they have the number 2 offensive line, and it's oh, yeah, you know what? I should read their stuff real fast. 58 receptions for 28 yards and 4 touchdowns. He does have a 72% catch rate. That's 11th for tight ends. And he has a 14th strength of schedule, so it's not that great. But, dude, if Deshaun Watson goes off, Njoku is going to go off. They're both going to get off. Oh, I shouldn't talk about that when we're talking about Deshaun Watson. I should just use get off. I should put that out of the vocabulary when we're talking about this. Well, Jason, what do you want to tell me about? I'm interested to know who the Houston tight end was.
Yeah, so he did have 80 targets last year. Hit 52 receptions and 80 targets. I think with all the weapons on the Browns, I do not think that's going to change much. I think he's going to be in that same category. But, he played 84% of snaps played last year. But in weeks 14 through 18, he had over 90% snaps played. And that was during the Deshaun Watson. He did average 10 points per game last year in PPR. Okay, so that's what I have here. Deshaun Watson's 21 out of 104 touchdowns while in Houston went to a tight end. So 21 touchdowns went to a tight end in Houston.
It's 20%, really. I mean,
yeah. And Njoku is, I believe, he is more talented than the tight ends that he had in Houston, which are Jordan Thomas, Darren Fells, and Faroa Brown. Those are the ones.
If he threw 40 touchdowns, that would only be 8 touchdowns to a tight end.
He threw 21 touchdowns.
Oh, I'm just saying that's what 20%.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm just trying to give people an idea of what 20% of 40 is.
Yep, and last year when Watson played, Njoku did score 2 touchdowns. 2 of his touchdowns came in the 6 games that Watson played last year. And David Njoku, he was number 2 in tight end red zone targets last year.
Dude, I'm second guessing all my math. I've been drinking so much. I need to stop this. And my problem is Jason is so Jason's family's in town. They're on a timeline. And I was like, I gotta drink. I gotta drink a tall can before the show. I'm just gonna pound it. It's just
you made a beer bong. Or 18.
I will say this, Jason. All of the empty beer cans I pull out of Shasta Lake because people litter. They all have a puncture right here.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude.
The shotguns.
People on boats, man, they love to shotgun beers. All right.
Just one thing. So he played in Houston Texans for 3.5 years. So the tight ends average around 7 touchdowns a year.
All right. And I do want to say, Jason, one scary thing is I really like how many weapons they put around Deshaun Watson this year. Elijah Moore. But I don't think they've signed Kareem Hunt. So that is a less competition for some of those short passing yards or whatever. But I have heard that they want to actually use Chubb more in passing situations.
Yeah. And Jerome Ford, the backup running back, I guess he's taken a lot of receptions out of the backfield as well.
All right, Jason, your dad's favorite player.
Pitts.
So this is like a generational talent, man. I think he had a. Oh, I have this written down right here. So Jason and I both have Pitts ranked eighth. ESPN has him ranked seventh. He's going ADP of like 71. What is that? 8th round and 10-man? Like, I don't know, probably like 7th or late 6th and 12-man. So you still have to pay a decent amount for him, dude. I just went over the top 5 draft picks that you could have possibly made last year, and a lot of that was 4th through 6th round. So those are valuable picks. And then Jason, let me go to Pitts. Here he is. First tight end in 50 seasons, Jason, to have 1,000 yards of rookie year. So like it started off great. Last year he missed 6 games to a torn MCL. He's only 22 years old, but he has a crappy, not the greatest schedule, 19th strength of schedule. And dude, they have Bijan Robinson. That's great, dude. Let's give him even more competition for some of these short yardage passing and stuff. So I'm not in on Pitts, but I have him ranked higher than other people.
Yeah, his rookie season he had 1 touchdown. And all we could hope is that he doubled it last year. And, well, he did. He only had 2 touchdowns. He only played 72% of the snaps. His catch rate, Tyler, was 47%.
When you're watching those Falcons games, dude, you're like, oh, my God, Pitts.
I mean, you and I have made comments about throwing to Pitts' shoelaces, right? If only shoelaces could catch balls from Mariota. So Pitts actually led the league with the most uncatchable throws. 28 receptions out of 59 targets, and out of those 59 targets, 33 were deemed uncatchable according to PFF. That is 59% of his targets that were uncatchable, and it's the highest amount of any player with at least 50 targets. And what I just said is that those attempts were made by Marcus Mariota. And that was before, and then he got injured before Desmond Ridder really took over. So now we're in year 3. This, the whole thing that he's supposed to have this huge jump. And Bijan Robinson is more the vocal point of the offense. He can still be a matchup nightmare. He plays the tight end position. He can also play the wide receiver position. He's in a weak division. Desmond Ridder's completion percentage was 63% last year, while Mariota's was 59%. So maybe he's going to have a more accurate quarterback throwing him the ball.
All right, Jason. Good analysis, good stats, dude. But Darren Waller, everybody's super high on. You and I have him ranked. I am 7 on him. You even have him later, which is probably more correct. You have him at 9.
I didn't even think you would have him on this list,
dude. ESPN has him at 4. His ADP right now is 51.6, dude. That's like that is literally the same time that Kittle's going. Like, you guys need to freaking get your crap together, man.
Yeah.
So terrible ESPN stats, terrible drafting right now in some ESPN lobbies. So, anyways, Darren Waller, Jason, I have owned him 2 times probably, and he was great one year for me and just god awful, just ruined my season, man. No, he was just terrible for me one year. He missed 14 games over the last 2 seasons due to injury, and he turns 31 I think in December. But the positive that he has going for him is that the Giants wide receivers are short on talent and size. So he's like the largest pass catching person over there by far.
Yeah.
Dude, we talked about the schedule in the offensive line for the Giants, Jason. So the Giants offensive line's terrible. They had an easy schedule last season. But dude, they're lucky they signed Saquon Barkley. Jason, they have the 32nd strength of schedule for tight end. So that's dead last for Waller. So things are not lining up for Waller. I mean, I do not think I think he's going as tight end 4 or 5, dude. Oh my God. Terrible choices.
Too early. I was thinking about not even putting him on my list, but, you can't really deny the talent. We've seen Waller have impressive seasons. In 2020, he averaged 17 points a game. But last year, he only played 58% of the snaps, which is kind of surprising to me. But okay, so the Giants, like you said, Tyler, they need a number one wide receiver. They didn't draft or sign one. Instead, they brought in tight end Darren Waller, and if he could, it's more taking a. Okay, so we know this guy cannot stay healthy. So if you're drafting him and you're going to draft him that high, you are banking that he's not going to get injured. I think he could do well because he's going to be the number one. He's going to probably lead that team in receptions and targets and probably touchdowns if he can stay healthy. Because I don't know who else are really going to throw the ball to.
Plus, dude, Daniel Jones is not going to have much time to throw.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't pick him before the Kittles, before the Dallas Goedert. Like, I can't do it just because of what we've seen the past 2 years. And what'd you say? He's 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could see where Muth is nothing like. I mean, his ceiling, whatever, dude. Like, I don't know. I need to see it before what. I think he's at. And then Njoku could be the benefit of what I do believe Deshaun Watson's going to do. Kyle Pitts is like the most talented tight end ever, so you have to put him up there. And then you have Waller over all those people. So it's like it's even hard to put him over those people. I understand what you're saying, Jason, but it's like there's no options on this team. So, and I believe in Brian Daboll, so that's the only reason I'm putting Waller up here.
Yeah.
And then
the only reason why I got him 9.
Yeah, and then from here on forward, you and I are totally in sync with our I almost thought you were going to play in sync, and I was like,
"You're the guy. I don't have it. I have to be recording."
Oh, nice. Okay, good. So, anyways, Jason, yeah, Evan Engram, dude. You and I were pushing him so hard last year because of Doug Peterson and what Dallas Goedert has done in that offense for so long, and so you and I both have him ranked at 6. He is ESPN has him at 9. He is going at number 87 ADP, which is, dude, like 26 picks behind Waller, which is crazy. Around the same time as Pitts. No. That's 17 picks behind Pitts. So I think Engram is a great value, Jason. You and I both have him pegged as a value. Let's see. Engram, number 5 in tight end targets with 98. He was tied with Muth. Finished as tight end 6 in half PPR. He was drafted as tight end 8. Or no, he's being drafted as tight end 8. And dude, that was his first year with Trevor Lawrence, like in a real offense. I mean, I know they had Urban Meyer, but we're not counting that year. And then 4 touchdowns. He has the 30th strength of schedule, which is pretty bad, Jason. How do you feel about him?
Yeah, I think, Engram, we are more. Well, for my own opinion, I have him ranked like this mainly because of the eye test. From all the games I saw last year with him and Trevor Lawrence, especially towards the end, they just look good, bro. They just look good, burger. Home of the good burger. Because he only played 77 snaps, 77% of snaps last year. He averaged 10 points per game in a PPR. And he was 3rd in targets on his team. He was behind Zay Jones and Kristen Kirk. And I'm only going to imagine that Calvin Ridley is also going to take targets from him too. But the thing is, when he gets on a roll, he has a very high ceiling. In Week 14 against the Titans, he had 11 receptions, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, which gave him 39 points in a half-point PPR. And this is a third-year quarterback for Trevor Lawrence, and he keeps getting better and better. And it's going to be Evans' second year in that offense. I could just see another productive year out of him.
Yeah, and I mean, you could be like, oh, dude, Calvin Ridley's there. Maybe his touchdown's going to go down. He only had 4 touchdowns last year, and he still did well. So I don't see that argument. And then Jason, next up, you ready?
Yeah.
You and I both love this guy. I just remember getting smoked by your sister, dude.
Me too. Me too.
And I was just like, oh my God, I need to trade for Goedert. You put the E at the end because it sounds cooler. Jason, He finished as tight end number 5 in fantasy points per game last year. He missed 5 games with a shoulder injury. He has not scored more than 5 touchdowns in a season. There's so many touchdowns here, dude, on this offense. It could change. He does not have the greatest strength of schedule, 24th. How do you feel about Goedert, Jason?
Dude, his catch rate was 79%. Oh, I messed that up. I meant to say his catch rate was a sizzling 79%. on a tiring 90% snap played. He's on the field 90% of the time. It's crazy with that stat you said that he hasn't scored more than 5 touchdowns.
Dude, right? Isn't that crazy? I was looking, I was like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I remember him doing well.
Yeah, that kind of blew me out of my mind.
That blew me mind.
That blew me mind.
Holy crap.
And then, okay, so Eagles second in scoring they average 28 points per game. He's an amazing safety blanket for Jalen Hurts. He's a talented tight end. He plays the slot as well as up on the line as a tight end spot. Last year, Jalen Hurts only threw the ball 48 times in the red zone, and Brian Johnson is the new Eagles offensive coordinator. Maybe he'll have Hurts give more opportunities to the wide receivers and tight ends in the red zone next year.
Well, he's paid, right? And the only thing is, I think when they're within the 5, they're going to do that rugby thing. But I could definitely see Jalen Hurts throwing. I think he's going to score more touchdowns this year. I think he only had like 22 touchdowns. Like I have it up here on all my stuff.
I think that too. I think he's going to throw for more passing touchdowns.
Because I was like, he ran for 13, I think.
Yeah,
which is insane. So, but he's going to get like double. I feel like he's still going to get double digits because of that rugby thing. But still, you can see there being a lot more red zone opportunities for AJ Brown and Goedert. Is that all you have to say, Jason? Is that all you have to say about Goedert, Jason?
He's a good tight end on a good offense.
Hey, Jason, ask me where my car is.
Where's your car?
It's in the shop. It's getting a footprint gas pedal installed.
What? You're joking. Did they have to? You had to show your shoe for the size of it. What size shoe do you have? What size shoe's footprint are you going to use?
I don't want a pedal that big. All right.
Man, you can't. Are you serious? Are you leaving me hanging right now?
Hawkinson.
Are you really? You're not gonna.
What am I doing?
Is it really in the shop right now?
Is it really in what?
And are you really getting a foot pedal as a?
No, dude. That's from Joe Dirt.
Oh my god.
He's all, I've got a Hemi, right? And she's all, is that one chick, from like the area around? So, oh yeah, like something's all, yeah, it's in the shop getting a fiddle gas.
Dude, you had me. I did not remember that part. And when you told me that, I'm like, why would Tyler? That doesn't seem like a Tyler thing to go out and spend money on something that's not necessary.
Dude, I'm like negative in my bank account, man. I'm like,
yeah.
If anything, I'm going to be installing my own footprint gas pedal.
Damn. Okay, moving forward.
All right, Jason. So I should love this dude, right?
Right.
I am a Vikings fan, but I have him number 4, and I'm going to give you some stats. So you have a number 4. The show has a number 4. ESPN has a number 3. He is going number 43 overall, which is like, I don't know. It's like in the 4th round, probably in both, I think. 36, 4 times 12. No, 48. So I think it's in the 3rd round of a 12 team, but whatever, dude. I'm drinking. I can't even get my stuff straight. But, dude, Hawkinson finishes tight end 4 being drafted, and he's being drafted as tight end number 3, which is whatever. I mean, it depends on what you like. He averaged 6.1 targets per game on the Lions, and then that jumped up, plus 2.5 targets per game, average 8.6 targets per game with the Vikings. He was the number 2 most targeted tight end, 129 behind Kelce, even with those like 10 games with the Lions, dude. So it's like he could have been targeted the same as Kelce, which is insane. But and then looking at his schedule, he has the 20th strength of schedule. I just I don't know. I think Justin Jefferson's going to get a lot more touchdowns this year because it was just insane, like that touchdown regression from last year.
Yeah.
I watch Hawkinson. I believe in Hawkinson. I think he's great, but like I said, I still think there's 3 other tight ends that I would rather have.
Me too. I'm a believer.
Okay.
Yeah. Donkey. Yeah. I knew that one.
I got that.
That's we bought a zoo, right?
Shut the hell up, dude.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So he was top 5 in touchdowns last year. He was second in receiving yards for a tight end at 914. 86 receptions at 129 targets, has a 66% catch rate, and he played 85% of the snaps. He had 4 games last year. I'm basically just piggybacking off what you said because we have like the same stuff here. He had 4 games last year with 10 plus targets. 84 targets were from the weeks 9 through 18. That's when he joined the Vikings. And he also had 50 receptions during that span. He could be the second or third in receptions in 2023 on his team. And from last year, he was the second option on the 8 scoring offense in the NFL. So I don't really know how. I mean, it's going to really rely on Kirk Cousins, but I can see a lot of points coming from the Minnesota Vikings again. And TJ Hawkinson could definitely be a part of that. And he was number 3 tight end in red zone targets last year.
I do want to say, Jason, the Vikings defense is going to be much improved like 7 games in because we got Brian Flores, dog. And I don't know if there's going to be all these shootouts like people think there's going to be. I think the Vikings defense might come back to what they should be.
Yeah.
Dang, I was just going to tell you something that was hilarious, but now I forgot about it.
That all people are projecting the Packers to win the division.
Are they really?
I'm just like,
No, they're not.
know.
It's all the Lions. I thought it was like, dude, I thought everybody's all up on the Lions, man.
I was watching some stuff yesterday, and they were saying the Packers. We believe in the Packers. We believe in Jordan Love. I'm like, damn, I need to go to the training camp.
Hey, Jason, did you see? I do want to mention. So, did you see who was trending yesterday for the Dallas Cowboys in their training camp videos?
Dak.
No. Who's I fell in love with the runner.
Oh, Deuces.
I'm telling you, dude. Yeah, so what? I thought that James Cook was going to be a fantasy MVP last year. Woo! I might just put Deuce Vaughn as my MVP for this year. I love Deuce Vaughn, man. And it's like, yeah, like everybody's like, did you see him? I was like, did you just go watch his freaking highlights, man? They're all like, Did you see the training camp videos? It's like, oh my God. He's better than Darren Sproles. He is freaking crazy, man. I want to cuss so bad when I'm talking about Deuce Vaughn.
I like how he runs. He reminds me of like Chris Farley in a Fat Man in a Little Jacket where he's like his arms are like this. That's why I feel like he runs like he's.
Well, he's probably like, I'm so small, I run big.
Yeah.
Like clotheslining fools. All right, Jason, my favorite tight end going into this year, George Kittle. All right. So he was the first person I started writing notes on because I was all about him. 7 touchdowns, weeks 13 through 18. That's when Purdy became the quarterback.
Yep.
Jason, that same stretch, Kelce had 0 touchdowns. That's 6 games. So Kelce had 0 touchdowns in the last 6 games of the season. Kittle had a career high 11 touchdowns, propelled by that 7 touchdowns with Purdy. But he only averaged 51 reception yards per game. That's his lowest since his rookie season. So, like, dude, his floor last year could go up way higher, and you know what his ceiling is insane. He has a 16th strength of schedule, which is exactly average, pretty much. So you can't really, knock anything away or boost him in any way. But dude, I'm telling you, I think he's going. Let me look. I think he's going in this. I think I said he's going in the same round as he's at 49.2. He's going after Hawkinson. He's going the same as Waller, Jason. Are you telling me that Waller and Kittle are going at the same ADP?
That's crazy.
Dude, one is a huge bust and one is a huge value. Give me Kittle. I'm trying to get Kittle in my drafts because I know you're getting Kelce, so whatever.
I'm getting Kelce.
Maybe.
I'm not getting Kelce. I don't know what made you think I was getting Kelce.
Yeah, I'll get Kelce, dude. I was talking about this. We're going to go over Kelce in a minute. I might get Kelce.
That is a crazy stat, Tyler. I had to go and look where you said Kelce didn't even score the last 6 weeks of the year. So yeah, all his touchdowns in up to like week 13.
I know, dude.
God, that's crazy.
It is.
And
crazy.
then I can't even talk. Then it all went to Jarrett McKinnon.
I was just gonna say. Then the Jarrett McKinnon show started.
Yeah. So George Kittle, he was second in touchdowns with 11. That's pretty huge, and he was 5th in receiving. 60 receptions last year and 86 targets at 69% catch rate, and he played 90% of snaps last year. That's huge. That's a huge number to have. He's on the field 90% of the time. He averaged 13 points per game. So 4 games over. He had 4 games over 12 points before Brock Purdy, and 4 games over 12 points on the last 6 games of the season with Brock Purdy came in as quarterback. 3 of those 6 games, Kittle had multiple touchdowns. One game he had 25 points. Another game he had 30 points. And now Purdy is back healthy, and the rapport is going to continue in 2023. And you only know for those injury-prone receivers out there in San Francisco, when one of them goes down, Kittle's stats are going to bump up. His value is going to bump up. He's going to play more. And the other thing I really like about Kittle is that Shanahan actually draws out plays for Kittle. And go watch the week 14 against Seattle, where it was a beautiful 50-yard play drawn up for Mr. Kittle. And I like to have that out of my receivers or tight ends.
Right. And Jason, I think the only way that he does not perform up to his ADP is if Brock Purdy just starts hyper-targeting Deebo Samuel, like he probably should. But even then, I think he lives up to his ADP. He is... but yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you and I have him number 3. And I think for good reason, because the next dude up is like a target hog, dude. Like if Lamar Jackson, we're going to talk about Mark Andrews right now. He's our number 2 tight end. If Mark Andrews is healthy, dude, like it's crazy. His stats, like he blows away like every other tight end. Even last year, let me get him, Jason. Sorry. He had 455 yards and 5 touchdowns in the first 6 games of 2022.
I know.
Then he dealt with knee and shoulder injuries and Lamar injuries, and I think he had 355 yards the rest of the season. It was terrible.
Yeah, his Are you still there? Sorry.
My dog started fighting. Sorry.
I heard that dog.
They're all horny. It's terrible.
Yeah, I heard the dog.
Banjo is all horny. It's god awful.
Dude, are you done with your parts?
Yes.
Dude, I wanted to add on to what you said. Like, the first 6 games was insane for Mark Andrews. And PPR, he scored 10, 25, 28. Then he had a 3-point game in there. Then 22 and 23. It was like...
That's crazy.
It was insane. Kelce who, right? It was crazy. Yeah, he did deal with some injuries with himself. The whole Ravens were they were all just injured last year. You know, he had 5 touchdowns. He was 3rd in receiving, 113 targets. He played 83% of the snaps, and he averaged 12 points per game. And he dealt with injuries, but in games... Oh, I think I kind of already gave this stat a little too early. Yeah, so he had games of 10, 25, 28, 22, 23, 12, and 11 with Lamar. Those are the games that Lamar was actually in there. And he was 4th in red zone targets for tight ends. He's Lamar's favorite wide receiver. Lamar's expected to throw more under the new offensive system. Dude, Mark is that dude. Mark is that dude for the Ravens. He has a chance to blow up his numbers this year if everything's true and Lamar Jackson's going to throw for 6,000 yards, since Mark Andrews is his go-to guy. His guy. His dude.
So, Jason, he had all those injuries. He still finished as tight end 5 last year. That's how bad tight ends are. And this year, Jason, he has a 10th overall strength of schedule for tight ends. So you give somebody like that an advantage in the schedule, I think that is a big time. And I think the Ravens have number 3 overall offensive line from PFF going into next year. So he's not needed to block. So I think Mark Andrews, I'd be totally fine with drafting him on my team. But I don't know, 'cause I really like, like I said, like Justin Jefferson or some Tyreek Hill, like Justin Jefferson all the way to Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce in the first round. I like getting like Nick Chubb, or if I have to get Najee Harris or something like that in the second round, I will. And then I like going Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen in the third round. So that's tough because Mark Andrews is probably going to be going in those top 3 rounds, and I would rather have, a top tier of those things than wait for Kittle or something like that.
Yeah, and also, just so you know, in the championship week last year, week 17, Mark Andrews put up 19 points.
Oh, yeah. So... yeah, I know his championship odds were pretty high. I can't remember.
He was there when you needed him most.
Watch this, Jason. Okay. 2022 playoff odds. All right. I know I have Mark Andrews. Oh, full 52% of Mark Andrews owners made the playoffs. He wasn't even on the championship ranked. So just because of his injury, I think. Jason. All right, last obvious. He is in his own tier. I have him as his own tier. Travis Kelce. So
What?
what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say 71%, Jason, pretty much 72% of Travis Kelce owners made playoffs. So if you drafted Travis Kelce and you didn't make playoffs, man, like you're 1-4. Like, I don't know how you messed up, but you messed up. And then like I think he had like the third highest overall odds for championships as well. Yeah, he did at 21.4%. So Kelce was amazing. Let me just read some. Well, I got a couple more things. Oh no, that's Kittle. Oh, Kelce led all NFL in red zone targets with 29. You and I talked about that, and tied for second in touchdowns with 12. I think behind Devontae Adams had 14, and then tied for sixth overall in targets with 152. So him and Hawkinson, man, like crazy targets. Plus Andrews too. With Kittle, you're relying on touchdowns, which are probably going to come. And then this is the big deal, Jason. This is why Kelce is maybe number one overall in your drafts. He averaged 4 more points per game than number 2 tight end Kittle in half PPR. And we talked about that. The difference in between wide receivers is less than like the top 3 wide receivers is less than a point. Top 3 running backs difference less than a point. Top 3 quarterbacks difference less than a point. You're getting 4 points, dude, drafting Kelce over anybody else, which is just insane, dude. That's freaking crazy. So, and then he has the number 5 strength of schedule going into this next year. So, and they didn't get Hopkins. Jason Kadarius Toney went down with injury already. I mean, surgery. I don't know. I mean, it sucks. I think the one negative you can say is that he didn't score a touchdown in like the last 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, but I mean, we're really, Tyler, all we could just say here is Travis Kelce and end the show, right? Like, not even close.
And hey, dude, Jason, if he just like had one off season without working out, he would look just like you.
Without working out? Oh my god, that's
remember when that guy's all you and that fat Travis Kelce, and they're like, dude, that's like a compliment.
I know. I was like, I appreciate that, dude. He doesn't know my Thanksgiving football days, man. We're all-time tight end.
Well, I think the same person called me fat too, and I was like, dude, I got the opposite problem, man. Like, I'm trying to gain some weight here, dog.
Hold on. I'm looking up this thing real quick because he didn't score in the last 6 weeks. But how did he do in the last 6 weeks with
I think he had at least 100-yard game. And
dude, yeah. He still, PPR, he still killed it. He had 200-yard games during that. One game he had 10 receptions, 6 receptions, 7 receptions, 6 receptions. Yeah. Even without the touchdowns, he was still getting the volume. This guy, he was first in touchdowns for tight ends. He was first in receiving for tight ends at 1,300. He had 110 receptions on 152 targets, 72% catch rate. And he only does this, Tyler. He's only on the field for 80% of the snaps played. That's actually pretty interesting to me. But this dude averaged 18 points per game, and that is coming out of your freaking tight end. That's huge. That's wide receiver 1 numbers right there. He will be 34 in October, but he's still in discussion for the number 1 overall draft pick. He's a red zone assassin with first in targets, receptions, and TDs inside the 20-yard line, and first in the same stats inside the 10-yard line. He has the best quarterback in the league. He is a number 1 receiving option on the number 1 scoring team. Travis Kelce, break the wrist, walk away.
Were you watching my face that whole time, Jason?
No, sorry, I was reading.
You were laughing. I was like, I was doing some weird. Then Jewel started coming out of my mouth, and I was like, "Ooh!" And then you started laughing. I was like, "Oh man!"
I was laughing at my own self just because of how ridiculous those stats are. It's just like it's like you don't even need to explain anything with Travis Kelce. Like, that's it.
And I know he's getting old, dude, but it's like they say it's like the first 3 rounds of wide receivers and running backs are like a 50% hit rate anyways. You get Kelce. The only way he's not going to live up to his ADP is if he doesn't maybe he'll only get 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns or something. But he needs to get injured for that to happen. Like, I mean, I think injury is going to be the cause of his demise. You and I are not banking on injury unless your name is who do we talk about?
Waller.
Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason. So I think it's gonna. I think that I am advocating for. I do not think you are crazy for taking Kelce number 1 overall if that's what you want to do. Like, I think that is totally reasonable.
Oh, absolutely. What I just say, like his points per game is like wide receiver 1 numbers on your
And
team.
he's literally been like in the top 10 of giving you the best odds to win a championship for the last 3 seasons. Jason, he's the only tight end that's been on there for 3 years in a row.
Yeah, he's number 1 in all the important stats you won out of a tight end.
So yeah, like you could draft him early and then mess up a couple picks, hit a couple picks, and be like dominant in your league. So that is our top 10 tight ends. I do have him ranked down to like, what do I have him ranked down to, Jason? I think 15 or something like that. Yeah, I've got him ranked down to 16. So, I mean, if you're in a 14-man league, 16-man league, at least they're ranked out for you. Grab one of those tight ends. If not, grab Dalton Kincaid. I was supposed to put Laporta on here, but I decided I'm not going to put any rookie tight ends on the top 15 because rookie tight ends are so rare, Jason. I know I called out Rob Gronkowski. I know we weren't doing a TV show at that time, but I was like, he's going to get at least 10 touchdowns this year. Jason, I think I won a championship with Rob Gronkowski scoring 10 touchdowns during the regular season.
You called it.
Yeah, I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day, or wait, once a day. I don't remember.
It's twice. It's twice.
All right. So, anyways, this is the fantasy football show,
And we appreciate you.
and we appreciate you. Please like and subscribe.
We're almost to 400.
Dear God, we're like getting like 1 subscription a week now. We need you. We need you more than ever. We need you.
We already got people trying to do mergers.
I know, right?
This is big time.
Big time, big time. Anyways, thank you so much, Jason. Thanks for making time. Thank you for making time. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Deuces.